Hello, welcome to another episode of Cbfu from the shop at Manifest Comics. I'm Sam.
And I'm Isaac.
And we're looking at comics from the week of September 10th. First up we have Magneto, which is The Road to Axis. It's Magneto number 9. It's by Colin Bunn and Gabriel Hernandez Walter. And it seems like it jumps away from like where the book was going just so it can meet up to Axis. But I mean, it retreads some same grounds with Magneto, the concentration camps and the fact that what the Red Skull's planning, it starts going towards that. But it was still, it was well told, so, I thought it was pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, I liked it. I'm not a big fan of the Red Skull's minions, the S-Men.
Yeah.
I think that was the weakest part of the book for me.
Yeah.
There's a moment with Magneto with these two mutants who are being held at the camp, and they're talking about his voice in their head, and Xavier.
Yeah,
I like that.
Pretty cool,
that was cool.
Yeah, no, I don't like the S-Men either. That was the weakest part of Remender's Uncanny Avengers run too. Mm-hmm. That first arc, it was just they're not fully formed. They don't really care about them as villains, so they're kind of just throwaway. But I mean, it's if you're looking into Axis, this is on the road to Axis, so I would get it if you're enjoying Magneto. It's continues. It's another pretty good Magneto book. It leaves some of the stuff behind. There was the stuff with the Marauders.
Yeah.
And so it leaves a lot of the plot holes, the plot threads that Magneto's been building. It just leaves them behind just so it can get to Axis. Yeah. So I'd give it probably about 6 out of 10 logos. What do you got?
Well, my first book is The Death of Wolverine number 2, and this is a really good book. This is like someone told him to take all of Wolverine where he's been, all the characters that he's been always. It's almost like a road trip of Wolverine, and it's really good. The art by Steve McNiven is, as always, really good. There's this moment where Wolverine fights a bunch of Jade's minions.
Viper,
right? Not Jade.
Jade's
Viper.
Mortal Kombat.
Well, it reminded me of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that's true.
But and it's really cool, well done fight scene, and I like it. It's Wolverine that I want to read. It's a Wolverine I like to read.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Charles Soule handle Wolverine a little bit longer before they jumped into Death of Wolverine, because his Wolverine is pretty badass. He's
but he's also noble. He's the noble samurai.
He's the best at what he does, and it's really good. I mean, and there was one item in the last issue that. Well, there's a couple items in the last issue that didn't seem to,
continuity seeming to be.
But there's one thing in here that corrects one of the things, and it's still kind of iffy on some other things, but it doesn't really matter because it's a good book.
Yeah, no. If you like Wolverine, you're definitely going to want to buy this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Death of Wolverine. You almost have to buy it to see how he goes out.
And the art's really good.
Yeah, the art's really good. Yeah. And it looks like he's going out like the way he should. Yeah. And not like with Paul Cornell's.
And again, Paul Cornell's run has nothing to do with this book.
Yeah, no. This book has nothing to do with anything. It's completely standalone.
Yeah.
If you haven't read any other X-Men book in the past year or 2 years, it doesn't matter.
10 years.
Yeah, this is completely standalone. Yeah. And I would give it 9 logos.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Really good. Next up, we have Superman Unchained number 8. I think we have one more issue in this series to go. I think it's a to be concluded, right? No, just an S shield at the end. But yeah, the series is good. It's slow because there's been a lot of delays because of Jim Lee. I've always been a fan of Jim Lee, so I love seeing his art, and his art looks great in here. The fight, it's basically a fight between the Wraith or the Wrath and Superman, pretty much the whole issue, and he's trying to figure out how he can beat this guy who clearly overpowers him. And, it's interesting, his inner monologue while he's doing that, and I'm not really sure exactly how he finished them, because it's I don't exactly remember this one item that comes into play. I don't remember the last issue because, it's been more than a month.
You might have to go back to your back issues to see what happened.
Yeah, I think in trade this is going to read a really good Superman run, why Superman is such a good character. And that's a credit to Snyder, because if this came out like a regular book, this would be much better, but it doesn't. So.
Yeah, no. It didn't, but Scott Snyder gets Superman, and it's almost like an answer to the Man of Steel movie, where Superman didn't help anyone. In this, he goes out of his way to help people. Yeah, and that's always good.
Yeah, it doesn't. Again, this book doesn't fit into what's going on currently in the New 52 with Lex Luthor. This is its own little corner of the DC universe, and if it ever plays a role in books, it'll play a role later. But it's the art. I like Jim Lee. It's not Jim Lee's best art, but I still like it. It's Jim Lee art. And it's a good Superman story, so I would recommend the whole story arc and get it in trade when you come to Manifest Comics when it's out in trade.
Yeah, it's gonna make a beautiful collection.
Yeah, or if you've been collecting it, keep collecting it because it's still good, and still want to figure out what's going to happen at the end of it. I'd give it 7 out of 10. Lugos, this one. What else?
Our last book of the week is a new #1 from Image, Coppertown, and this is
Coppertown or Copperhead?
Copperhead?
Copperhead.
Never mind that.
Copperhead.
Go back.
Isaac was wrong.
It was Copperhead #1 by
I'm not
Jim.
going to edit that out either.
Mhm.
I'm not going to edit that.
I wouldn't
mistake
expect you to.
No.
Copperhead #1. Copperhead, it's a strong title. And it's by Jay Farber, the writer. He did Noble Causes.
Oh, that was good.
He did Noble Causes. And that's the thing, the last thing I think I've read from him. This is the first thing I've read from him since Noble Causes. And it's a good, strong start. It's a sci-fi western.
Yeah.
It's sort of like in the midst of like Star Wars and Firefly. And it builds a nice world with a bunch of interesting, fully fleshed out characters. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, I do too. I mean, I don't, like, I recognize the name Farber, like Jay Farber, like, you know, vaguely. I didn't remember what else he did. I didn't remember Noble Causes until you just mentioned it. And
Noble
that
Causes was a good book. It was like a Fantastic Four, but more like
a
soap
full
opera.
Family. Yeah, it was good. I liked Copperhead. I thought it was good. I thought we talked a lot in like past episodes, like you and Jarryd talked about. We've talked about how like a lot of new #1s have come out, and like some of them are really good, so good jumping on points. Some of them leave you a little bit, you know, what's going on, a little more. But this was a good jumping on point. If you like westerns, like you said, if you like sci-fi, it combines the two in a really good way. And yeah, it's a pretty perfect issue #1.
Yeah, no.
As far as those go, you get new characters thrown in. You know, they've had their lives. They have mysteries that you need to find out. You don't know exactly all the details behind the world and like why they're there.
But they give enough.
necessarily.
They give enough like hints and everything that you don't feel like you're lost coming into
Yeah,
it.
and they make you want to learn.
Yeah.
More. Not just they don't turn you off with that.
Yeah, no. I would give it. It was good. It was very good. I would give it 8 out of 10 Lugos.
8 out of 10 logos. What was that? 6, 7, 8, and 9? Did we do?
We did in order.
We didn't do an order, but we, you know.
It was close enough. Close enough.
Yeah. So anyway, that's another week of Cbfu from the shop. Buy comics. They're always good.
We'll be back with weekly episodes very soon.
Yes, yeah, we're going to be filming some more roundtable discussions.
And we'll be back
Stay
next
safe.
week with another CBFU from the shop.
Yeah, so look forward to more Comic Book Fans United.